So I had been playing for probably about 6 months to maybe a year recently. I played years ago, but that was all self-taught. I didn't have any lessons during that time. And I've been playing and not really making too much progress for about 6 months to maybe a year before starting up with Osterloh Guitar Academy. Most of where I was getting the content from was either online, getting tabbed music that I play along with. I have also signed up with guitar lessons at a local guitar studio, but I really wasn't learning or progressing in the manner that I wanted to, and I felt like the lessons were not as productive as I was looking for, and that prompted me to seek training elsewhere. I think the results have been great so far. I think that what I'm learning is completely different and much more focused on where I felt like my gaps were, so that's soloing. I thought that I was learning kind of open chords with previous lessons and tab literature, but now there's a lot more theory that we're going into and really working towards the goal of building the ability to play guitar solos, build up the speed, and really be creative with the music. And I feel like that's been really one of the unique factors that I've picked up so far. So the lessons have been absolutely fantastic. At Osterloh Guitar Academy, we spend tons of time working beyond simply the time allotted, which is something that you would not find anywhere else. There's a real intent to master the subject material, and he's just a great guy too. So in terms of resources, absolutely. It's tough. I mean, there's a lot of theory, there's a lot of, in each lesson I'm being pushed, and there's a lot of stuff to master, but that's how I know I'm getting something out of my lesson, honestly, is each time I go home at the end of the lesson, I've clearly walked away with something, but it makes me appreciate how much more I have to go. So it's clearly been a challenging endeavor and a very humbling experience as well. Absolutely, I would say so. And it's beyond simply just learning guitar. I mean, I think that there's, when you look at the extra classes and exercises we do on the weekends that's available to us, the extra social events that are occurring, the tutor time that's made available, it's very clear that there is a goal and intent on us becoming and growing as guitar players. Well, again, as I'd really only taken one set of guitar lessons previous, and one of the things that drew me to Osterloh Guitar Academy to begin with is his own mastery of the material, and I felt like on my previous lessons I was getting I'll use the word instruction loosely from people who didn't really play the guitar that well, and certainly didn't play it in the way that I wanted to play it. And I think that's been, one of the real benefits of taking lessons here. So. Well, I would argue I'm still working on really playing guitar. However, I have noticed, I feel that oftentimes I'll hear a song and I'll say, you know what, I want to play that song, and I'm not going to come up with the notes myself, but when I look at the tablature, I can pick it up, at least the rhythm sections, pretty easily. And I think that I'm starting to make a lot of progress in terms of picking up some of the solos as well. So it makes you feel like you're really able to participate in that band. I mean, you're able to play along with the music, you're able to recognize pieces of the song that you might have played in other songs, or in the scales and the music theory that we're learning during the practice lessons. So that's when, I've got plenty of practice to go, but I can tell a huge difference in the over 1 year period of time that I've been with Osterloh Guitar Academy. I don't know if it's a misconception, but I think one thing I have to remind myself is I got to be patient. And we cover a lot of difficult material, and then several weeks later we'll move to something else that's equally difficult. And sometimes I forget some of the stuff that we had covered on the previous lesson. And I think, understanding that the more repetition, the more times we go back and touch on those topics, the quicker it'll come back and the more it will be mastered, at the end. So not sure, if that's a misconception or misperception, but something I remind myself is that you got to be patient. I'm not going to master guitar overnight, and I get reminded of that every week. So in terms of the extra training, yeah. I think what I've loved the most about the extra training is, number one, it's a very focused, what oftentimes is 3-hour session, and it's oftentimes with other students. And I think that is, every time we have a great time, because we are almost like a miniature band that's playing and kind of working on the same material, and I feel like we can kind of feed off each other, and it really is a kind of a group dynamic, a group camaraderie, and I think that makes it really fun when we do these extra lessons. So that's probably, when referring to the group training, the best part. I think it's great. I have solo lessons, but when I do work with the other guys and there's a nice group of, I would say, stable students that I've been able to get to know over, an extended period of time, so that when you get together with them, it's a lot of fun, and it's not like we're a bunch of strangers. And then combine that with the fact that we also have non-guitar activities that put us to spending time with each other. It's a real, I would say, tight-knit group. So. Yeah. I think for a new student coming in, I think number one, they have to understand what they want to achieve. I think that's probably, you need to know kind of what your goals are, and I think make sure that they line up with what they're going to get at Osterloh. But I think that, Osterloh Guitar Academy is going to invest in each and every student, and they'll be able to get any and everything they want out of it if their goals kind of match up. So